AFN Evening News with Dee Harper and Army Sergeant Nick Tovo.
Celebrating in style, marking the return of soldiers after a year-long deployment to Iraq. Plus, soldiers downrange are working hard to rebuild the war-torn country after years of neglect. And sometimes the deployment means taking on an entirely new job. We'll show you the transition from artilleryman to MP.
Your news now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the AFN Evening News. I'm Sergeant Nick Tovo. Dee Harper has the night off. Our top story tonight, one of NATO's primary command centers in Europe has a new commander. The new man in charge already runs all U.S. Army operations in Europe. USAR's Rob Gwynn has the story.
U.S. Army Europe Commander General B.B. Bell took command of NATO's Joint Command Center, or JCC, during a ceremony held today on Campbell Barracks in Heidelberg, Germany. Commander-in-Chief of NATO's Allied Forces North Europe, German General Gerhard W. Bach, presided over the event that handed command of JCC to General Bell from German Lieutenant General Götz Glimmeroth. Of his newly assigned duties, General Bell says he's looking forward to the challenges of commanding two of Europe's premier organizations at the same time.
We will continue preparing to conduct a full range of military operations, from peace support to high-intensity warfare. My commitment and the commitment of Joint Headquarters Center is to achieve a level of capability and readiness that places us at the forefront of NATO transformation.
NATO's Joint Command Center is responsible for the command, control, and training of NATO's Central Europe Multinational Corps. Since 1999, military personnel from 13 nations, including the United States, have been operating the JCC and have gained a broad range of experience, primarily in international peace missions, such as those in the Balkans. For USAR Public Affairs, I'm Rob Gwynn, AFN News.
During Operation Iraqi Freedom, 5th Corps delivered the main attack for U.S. Central Command, serving as the tip of the spear. And now as 5th Corps soldiers are coming home, it is time to celebrate. You can join the friends, family, and soldiers in a special welcome home ceremony at Campbell Barracks Parade Field in Heidelberg tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central European Time. And if you can't make it to the party, we hope to carry it here live right here on AFN Atlantic. Once again, that's at 3 p.m. Central European Time tomorrow. Well, 2 American soldiers are dead after mortars slammed into a logistics base in the town of Balad. That story tops our look at the latest headlines in the war on terror. 6 U.S. troops were wounded. The base is part of the 13th Corps Support Command. 2 more bodies have been pulled from the wreckage out of a bombed-out hotel in central Baghdad, where the confirmed death toll now stands at 27. A counterterrorism official says one of the suspects behind the bombing is an Islamic militant from Jordan. And it took 6 hours of debate, but the House has approved a resolution praising the troops in Iraq to mark the 1-year anniversary of the start of the war. The bickering centered over Republican insistence that the resolution contain a claim that the war has made the world a safer place. During the 24 years of Saddam Hussein's regime, many schools in Iraq failed to receive proper funding and, as a result, were left neglected. Coalition forces have made it one of their top priorities to rebuild these schools. Army Sergeant Nick Tovo reports from Baghdad.
Walking through a school that hasn't been renovated yet, it's a sad sight. Ceilings totally caved in, cracks in the walls, dirty floors, and unsanitary conditions. The view changes dramatically, though, when seeing a school that has been renovated.
Getting the electrical up, the power, the water, the sewage. We're constantly taking on projects, making things better, and the Iraqi people see that, you know, and they also see that we're working hand in hand with their new government, and democracy is starting to work. They're starting to see the fruits of all the labor we've been working for the last 10 to 12 months.
Rebuilding the schools not only gives the children of Iraq a better place to learn, it also gives Iraqi citizens a place to work.
You go out, you're hiring local contractors. Those local contractors have, you know, anywhere from 50 to 100 or more employees. Now you're given, you're not just getting the first order effects of, okay, we're getting a school rebuilt. You're also getting the secondary effects of, okay, now you've got an additional 150 people earning money, putting food on their table for their families.
New jobs plus new schools. It equals a better present and a better future for the citizens of Iraq. In Baghdad, I'm Army Sergeant Nick Tovo, AFN News.
Captain Hickman says that by the time his company leaves Baghdad next month, 15 schools in his sector alone will have been completely remodeled. Well, for many soldiers on their way home from Iraq, there's a brief layover in Turkey at Incirlik Air Base. And a group of Red Cross volunteers goes above and beyond the call of duty to help make sure these soldiers have a nice, relaxing time while they're there. Some of the soldiers nap, some clean their weapons, while some just want a little conversation after a year downrange.
They're so appreciative of everything, and there's so much they want to say about everything they've been through. And we love to just be there and let them talk and listen to them, and some of the things are things we can't even imagine.
Well, first of all, when we come in here, we're tired. When we came in last night, we were tired, sleepy, hadn't rested all day. And we came in, saw them here, they cheered us on, and it just felt good.
Many of the volunteers arrived very prepared with homemade sweets to treat the troops to a little something special.
So I always go out with a couple dozen cookies. We love peanut butter cookies, some brownies. Never go out empty-handed because it always disappears very quickly.
Many of the volunteers find that they really get a lot back from the giving of their time and baked goods to the soldiers.
It's kind of hard to explain what it's like to volunteer out there until you've done it. You might think it's just giving a couple hours of your time, but once you've been out there and experienced it, you'll want to be out there every night.
The volunteers also hand out miscellaneous items like decks of cards, Kleenex, and snack items. More than ever, the Army is relying on the National Guard to meet its demands overseas. That means not only deploying guardsmen out of their home states, but also training them for entirely new jobs. Sergeant Matt Howard reports on some New Hampshire artillerymen preparing to become MPs downrange.
Because you guys are about ready to embark on something very special. I want you guys to come back to war heroes that you guys are going to be, okay?
These guardsmen from New Hampshire joined up to defend America. They just thought they'd be doing it like this instead of from the turret of a Humvee.
It's quite a bit different duty than what they're used to. It's more close to an infantry type of duty.
The Army's retraining several thousand artillery, armor, and air defense National Guard soldiers to perform the duties of military police, a job that's one part cop and one part infantryman.
What we're looking for to hone right here, we're working at the team and squad level and making sure that that communication's going up and down and these soldiers are able to react and survive.
Keep security.
I tell you what, we've been impressed about the morale and the discipline of the soldiers. They're ready to go. They like the mission, and I think they're going to do great.
Of course, we realize we're a little closer to the enemy than we were originally trained to be, and so that kind of wears on you. But yeah, there's definitely, they get pumped out here. There's still a gung-ho spirit there.
The scenarios they rehearse are straight out of the headlines, cooked up from the real-life experiences of Iraqi freedom vets.
We learn from them every day. So as they learn things over in theater, they give it to us, and we prepare these new soldiers to go back.
Even though New Jersey doesn't look much like Baghdad, and the Iraqi on the bullhorn is just role-playing, everybody is soaking up all the knowledge they can. Because in a few months, these guys know there won't be any do-overs. Sergeant Matt Howard, Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Well, it's time for a short break, but when we come back, Air Force Sergeant J.C. Benavides will be here with your complete weather forecast. Plus, the list just keeps getting longer, so the vet at Incirlik Air Base in Turkey called in the backups to help. We'll explain right after this break. Stay with us. The AFN Evening News continues in just a moment.
Chief Gary Coleman and I are at Baghdad International Airport saying hello to a bunch of our USAFE warriors that are over here. You've heard me say this before, we're the most intimidating and inspirational Air Force in the world. Well, we're visiting with intimidation.
For most of us, it's our families that provide that inspiration. They truly inspire us to be the intimidators that we are.
These airmen behind us are what caused enemy air forces to lose sleep at night.
Bring your courage.
Well, the spring-like weather continues here in Frankfurt, Germany, but will it continue, and what is it like in your neck of the woods? Master Sergeant J.C. Benavidez has all the answers.
Well, good evening, Europe. Let's take a look at that forecast for Friday and Saturday. Hey, yesterday, or actually the last couple of days have been absolutely beautiful throughout Germany. As a matter of fact, yesterday we almost reached an all-time high for the month of March as far as temperature is concerned. Let's take a look at your forecast for the next couple of days, and things are definitely going to change. You'll see more clouds moving in throughout the theater. The good thing that I'm seeing here is everything is moving directly from the west towards the east. Therefore, the southern sections of Europe are going to look very nice. That is a lot of sunny skies over most of Spain, Rota, and Maron, looking absolutely gorgeous. So will the southern sections of France. As we move up towards the north, northern France, the Benelux, and even most of the northern half of Germany, you'll see quite a bit of cloud cover with rain. Temperatures are just right to see more rain. Maybe the higher elevations might see a combination of snow and rain mixed, but overall a lot of rain. Over most of the UK, still seeing quite a bit of rain with this next frontal system and also some gusty winds. Now all of Italy, nothing but beautiful sunny skies. Might even see a little bit of light fog formation throughout the northern sections. Look for that to slowly dissipate as the day continues. And as we cross the Adriatic into the Balkans, beautiful weather. We'll see a little bit of light fog formation, some of it very dense throughout the Balkans, but overall we'll see partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. And further towards the east, looking very nice over most of Turkey. Sunny skies will prevail, especially over Incirlik, and a little bit of a trough producing a little bit of cloud cover, a little bit of rain shower and isolated thunderstorm activity throughout the Middle East. Now taking a look at your forecast for Saturday, shaping up this way. Everything moves up towards the northeast, so therefore the Middle East is looking very nice. A lot of sunny skies for Saturday, so will most of Turkey see a lot of sunshine. Southern sections of the Balkans looking very nice. A lot of sunny skies as we move towards the north. That is Tuzla and Bonstil, seeing an increase in clouds later on in the afternoon. But overall, you see a little bit of sunny skies once that fog dissipates by late morning. All of Italy by Saturday looking beautiful. A lot of sunny skies prevailing. The northern sections now picking up a little bit of clouds. The higher elevations seeing a little bit of snowfall. And here we have these frontal systems just moving directly from west to east over Central Europe, producing a lot of clouds, some gusty winds, and also some rain and rain showers, possibly some isolated thunderstorms as well. That is true throughout Germany, the Benelux, France, and also over the southern sections, or throughout the most of the UK, Lakenheath and Mildenhall included. Beautiful day for Saturday for Rota and Maron. Now let's take a look at your low temperatures for the next few days, where we see temperatures in the 40s, pretty mild for this time of year, actually right on target. Northern sections of Italy also in the 40s. We'll see 30s throughout Tuzla and Ballenstil, and 40s throughout the southern sections of Turkey. Your forecast high temperatures for the next few days, 60s to low 70s over the southern portions of Turkey. You'll see those temperatures rebound into the 60s, possibly hit the low 70s over Tuzla, especially tomorrow. We'll see 50s over Central Europe and 60s over the southern sections of Spain. Europe, that's a look at your forecast. Please enjoy your weather while you can.
The 173rd Airborne Brigade was one of the first groups of soldiers to hit the sand in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. And after a year downrange, they've returned home to Vicenza, Italy to a hero's welcome. Here's Specialist Brian Bowles.
After more than a year in Iraq in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom, the 173rd returns to a gala welcome home ceremony along with a barbecue and concert. Friday's ceremony at Caserma Ederle included the uncasing of the colors, symbolizing the 173rd's return to the United States Army Southern European Task Force.
Thank you, 173rd, for investing in that future. Thank you for your commitment to your grandkids. And thank you for your commitment to the preservation of world order.
General Bell also thanked the families of the deployed soldiers for their support from the home front. Major General Thomas R. Turner, the commanding general of the United States Army Southern European Task Force, also paid tribute to the families.
They have persevered, they have grown individually, and they have grown as a group. They've laughed and cried together, and they've tried to raise families alone. They've tried to help others raise families.
They landed in Bashir in the mud, and they lived in it for about a month. And it's just muddy as hell out there on that field. It rained like crazy here yesterday, just for these airborne infantrymen. And I'm proud of them being back in the mud where they belong.
Specialist Brian Bowles, AFN News.
Now, after the ceremony, it was time to party. And Joan Jett, the Washington Redskins cheerleaders, and 5,000 people thrilled to have the 173rd Airborne Brigade home surely makes for a good one. Sergeant Luke Wack has more from Vicenza.
The Southern European Task Force community welcomed back the 173rd Airborne Infantry Brigade from its year-long deployment to Iraq with a celebration. The Vicenza, Italy community put on the party with help from Joan Jett, the Washington Redskins cheerleaders, and rockers Ole Ander. A staff dressed in white welcome back t-shirts served free hamburgers, hot dogs, and barbecued ribs, along with assorted beverages, to thousands of soldiers, family members, and community members in a specially constructed tent bigger than some airplane hangars. The 173rd's welcome back party marked the beginning of block leave for these combat veterans. Army Sergeant Luke Wack, AFN News.
The 173rd weren't the only group of soldiers to return from Iraq to Vicenza. The 508th also returned. Specialist Brian Bowles takes us to a ceremony honoring them.
The 508th held an award ceremony to honor its soldiers. Friday at the Post Gym, 508 soldiers received 1 Bronze Star with Valor, 59 Bronze Stars, 12 Army Commendation Medals with Valor, and 10 Purple Hearts.
Help me God. Congratulations on you. Big round of applause.
Lieutenant Colonel Timothy McGuire, the battalion commander of the 1st 508, addressed his soldiers.
We are winning the war on terror because of your actions. You are our nation's finest, and I am honored to be serving alongside you.
Colonel McGuire also took the opportunity to address the family members.
I realize that we could not do our job if they were not parents that did a great job raising their sons, if there were not spouses who daily had the harder task, which was taking care of the families back here, so we could go do the things that we love.
Colonel McGuire also told his soldiers to have a safe block leave. Specialist Brian Bowles, AFN News.
Some of our affiliates will break away for local programming at this time, but for the rest of you, stick around. Stateside News is coming up right after the break. Plus, many of you may turn to your host nation's facilities when it comes time for that very special delivery. We'll take you to Italy for a look at the childbirth services available on the economy. Stay tuned. You're watching the AFN Evening News.
Probably go through a routine every morning. You get up, get in your car, drive down to the exchange, commissary, shopette, or wherever, just get your Stars and Stripes. But did you know? You don't have to do that anymore. Stars and Stripes delivers to your door. Think of it this way. You don't have to waste gas getting the paper. Okay, it's not exactly like having it delivered to your hands, but you get it. Stars and Stripes Home Delivery. For more information, log on to www.stripes.com.
The R&R Soldier and Civilian Information Guide. Get it, read it, and keep it. In addition to specific instructions that will directly apply to soldiers and civilians on R&R, the guide contains blocks that will be filled in with return flight information. If you want information right away, you can find it online by going to the U.S. Army Europe website and clicking on the R&R support link. If you know you'll be enjoying some hard-earned R&R, you'll be provided one. The R&R Soldier and Civilian Information Guide. Get it, read it, keep it. There's a family readiness group in your community where people stand ready to help. They're people just like you. Some are new to the military, some are veterans with years of experience. They're all part of your Army family. They attend family readiness groups to learn, contribute, and meet people in their community. Contact your unit, find out when their FRG meets, get involved. Discover family readiness groups. Discover your Army family.
A 13-year-old boy has shot and killed himself in a school classroom in the town of Joyce, Washington. That story tops our look at today's stateside headlines. About 20 other students were in the room at the time. The sheriff says the youngster had a .22 caliber rifle hidden in a guitar case. And authorities in Anchorage, Alaska say a woman has confessed to the shooting deaths of her 3 teenage sons. Cynthia Lord is charged with first-degree murder. A magnitude 4.5 earthquake has rattled central California. There are no reports of damage. The quake Wednesday afternoon struck in the same area hit by a destructive tremor in December. Well, like many communities around Europe, expectant mothers at Camp Darby, Italy, turn to host nation healthcare facilities for their deliveries. Army Corporal Michael Dan explains the process of having a child at an Italian hospital.
Darren Howell was born at San Missouri Hospital last year, and we talked with his mother, Angie, when he was just a few days old.
So he was born at 11:42. He weighed 8 pounds 4 ounces and 52 centimeters long.
San Missouri is a private hospital just outside of Pisa. Expectant mothers will start visiting here with their OB doctor around the 2nd month of their pregnancy, so they'll get to know the facility before the big day. What they'll find is a professional and dedicated staff of caregivers.
Building a strong, trusting relationship between providers and patients is extremely important. We know it is not easy for Americans delivering their babies in a foreign country, and we strive to make their hospital stay as comfortable as being in their own home.
During the tour of the delivery ward, you'll see the birthing room and the nursery area. Plus, you can check out the private room that will be yours while staying at San Missouri. You also get a chance to meet the midwives, who will be taking care of you during your last month of pregnancy.
As a midwife, I am responsible for following the patients. My main concern is to take great care of the mother and newborn, and I do this by monitoring contractions, assessing the fetal heartbeat, and providing assistance for the mother-to-be throughout her labor, delivery, and postpartum period.
Also helping to take care of you are the interpreters from the Livorno Health Clinic, who do more than just help communicate.
They also organize quarterly tours of the delivery ward, and we are able to meet the patients before they are hospitalized. The liaisons have been working with us for many years, and it's obvious that they love what they are doing.
Any time of day, 24/7, they are on call. So if there's a translation miscommunication or there's something I need to translate to a nurse that I need, I can always call a translator, and they can always they'll call Ariana or the doctor and translate it for them, so you get the care that you want.
All this leads to a positive, safe, and memorable experience during your pregnancy at San Missouri Hospital.
We have had numerous patients who return to San Missouri with their children for a visit. This proves that many patients have had a positive, memorable experience of their stay here and consider themselves like family.
And as you can see from Darren, you can add a new happy and healthy member to your American family while in Italy. In Pisa, I'm Army Corporal Michael Dan, AFN News.
Well, a few AFN affiliates are going to go to local programming at this time, but for the rest of you, we'll be right back with more, including a look at some of the different entertainment options for you here in Europe. Stay tuned. The AFN Evening News continues.
The World War I Meuse-Argonne Offensive, Omaha Beach and the Battle of the Bulge, World War II, winning the Cold War in the Fulda Gap, War and Peace in the Balkans. From all these operations, 5th Corps came home with pride and honor and the thanks of a grateful nation. Now the Corps has come home again, this time from leading the coalition to victory in Iraq. As the main effort, 5th Corps raced to Baghdad and dismantled the Iraqi army. The Corps' subsequent leadership as JTF-7 has given the people of Iraq a chance for freedom and democracy. Whether defending the Fulda Gap or racing through the Karbala Gap, 5th Corps has always been there when the nation called. We all thank your heroic soldiers for their commitment, sacrifice, and valor. Freedom-loving people around the world will forever be grateful. On your way down range, you said you'd live up to your motto, "It will be done." You did. Welcome home, Victory Corps.
The thrill of the open road. Conditions dry, visibility good, speed just over 100 miles per hour. They only had a few drinks. 4 soldiers are on a trip, but this trip won't end like they thought. The driver loses control. The car swerves to the left and hits a tree. 2 passengers and the driver are killed instantly. The other passenger is seriously injured. He dies later in the night.
Plenty of women have seen the movie, and plenty of women probably own the movie, and now you can see the stage version of what may be one of the best chick flicks of all time. The Off Main Street Theater in Heidelberg, Germany presents Steel Magnolias, and AFN correspondent Anna Hans takes us behind the scenes for a look at what makes this story so special to so many.
Scares me. She's always watching me, and sometimes I catch.
Steel Magnolias is Robert Harling's famous and award-winning comedy. The play is set in the American South and narrates the joys and sorrows of 6 closely knit women.
I think it's just the story of the 6 women, how they hang together and get through all the tragedies in life. They're so delicate on the outside and really look, want to be pretty on the outside, but inside they're made of steel.
There is comedy and tragedy in the play, but also triumph and an inspiring sense of friendship.
Each of the characters in this play does find her own inner strength and manages to overcome some obstacle.
The play participates in the 2004 Tournament of Plays held this spring in Heidelberg, Germany. Reporting from Mannheim, I'm Anna Hans, AFN News.
The play runs this weekend and next. Tickets are still available and can be purchased in advance or at the door. Well, in today's society, television and movie special effects, along with computer graphics, don't leave much for the imagination to fill in. One man in Naples, Italy, is on a mission, though, to rekindle the mind's eye, and he's fueled by the world's most renowned playwright, Shakespeare himself. Navy journalist Corey Weber has more.
For employment!
It's not a scene from Oscar award-winning Lord of the Rings. There are no elaborate costumes, computer graphics, or even a cast of characters. No, it's one man forcing you to use an older but more powerful special effect, your imagination.
You're too much love and care of me, a heavy orisons against this poor wretch.
That man is Lieutenant Commander Tyrus Lemerande, a naval reservist from the Naval War College Public Affairs Office. What he has done is taken William Shakespeare's play, Henry V, and adapted it into a shorter version called A Little Touch of Harry in the Night. The once normal play of over 40 characters and lasting 3.5 hours has now been adapted to run in half the time with only 7 characters, of which he plays every one.
We try, and we hope we do a good job of bringing Shakespeare alive for a younger audience and to show them that it can be exciting and that it can be vibrant and alive. One man on stage with only words to sustain him and to use those words to invigorate the audience's imagination.
While Lemerande moves on to teach and entertain other service members in the European theater, his own legend grows. And with it, a powerful message. You don't always need a large cast of characters or special effects to make theater come alive. All you need is your imagination.
What the pictures that the audience can create in their mind's eye are far more beautiful, far more distinct and elaborate than anything that I could put on stage.
Reporting from the Real-Time Theater at Capodichino, Italy, I'm Navy journalist Corey Weber, AFN News.
Now that's entertainment, and that's going to do it for us tonight. Take care and have a great evening.